Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Not Your Average Glow. This is a safe place where we talk all things mental health, spirituality, and quite a bit of tarot. Today is a very special day. It is my 31st birthday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It'll probably upload a couple days late because for whatever reason, my Wi-Fi has been like hella slow lately. Cell phone data has been hella slow lately. Like, I'm still trying to upload a video currently that I filmed like 4 days ago. Like, it's taken forever. So, might be a few days, but my birthday, Cinco de Mayo, which is today when I'm filming this. And two ways. So I have spent the day thrifting. I found this really cool skirt I'm excited about. It's like Stevie Nicks kind of vibes. Like, it's got like black velvet and then like black lace, and it's like got all these different like long lengths and stuff, and it like comes like mid-calf, but like some of the pieces, it's like all asymmetrical and stuff. It's really cute and like wispy, and I'm excited about it. Found this really cool like quilted jacket. I found like this really pretty like silky basic blouse. Found a crop top. I found a pair of slacks, and I never find slacks that I actually like. And they were like a real wool, and they were vintage, and they like flattered my butt like really well. And I was like, okay, sis, you look all cute and stuff. So I bought those, even though they're wool and it's the summertime, because I never find slacks, and they were really cute. So, and I found these really cool, like, I don't even know how to describe these heels, but they're like straight like 90s witch vibes. Like, think like Charmed, think like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like 90s witch vibes in a heel. I don't know how to explain it. They're like a chunky heel, and they're kind of tall, but not like ungodly tall, like not stiletto tall, but they're a chunky heel, and they're like black like satin, and they almost have like this like oriental like pattern on them. I don't know how to explain it, but they're hella cute. Very excited about that. And yeah, I got some iced coffee, I bought some plants today. And yeah, it was just a good day. Everybody, all of my friends and family and stuff had to work today. So it was just me and Nova, just chillaxing. We're gonna go out to eat tonight. But like my birthday, like I'm 31. It's not like we do any like big crazy thing for my birthday. I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't need all that. But we're going out to eat tonight, and then me and my friends are gonna go like tubing down the river Saturday. Still live in Florida. Tubing here, okay, because there's like different types of tubing. There's like tubing like down a hill in snow. I did that living in Wisconsin. That's not what I'm talking about. There's like tubing like being drugged behind a boat where it's like fast and you're like balancing. We do that, and I've done that many times, but that's not either. There's this thing in Florida where you sit in a tube and you put a cooler with like beer and stuff in a tube, and you literally float down a creek or a river all day, and your only job is to sit there and drink. Sounds boring, but it's heckin' fun, because like there's like sandbars and stuff you can stop along the way. There's like cliffs and stuff you can jump off of. There's like trees and like tire swings and all that crap. So you literally like, you put on plenty of sunblock and you just get drunk and you just float down a river with your friends. Like, it's good stuff. So we're planning on doing that Saturday, and yeah. I bought myself some stuffs because, like I said, I'm a grown-ass woman. Nobody really buys me presents. Although my mom got me a present. She's ordering me a sweater that I wanted. So she's getting that. And then Dakota bought me a plant, and he's taking me out for dinner. And yeah, that's that. Today I treated myself to a Jones soda. I haven't had one of these since I was in high school, and this used to be my absolute favorite soda. Specifically the cream one was my favorite. I seen this today when I was out shopping, and I was like, oh, I hadn't had that in years. It's not as good as I remember. I'm not a big soda drinker, but it's not quite as good as I remember, but it's pretty good. And then I got guac and chips here, so if I'm munching, It is what it is. But yeah, oh, funny story. Okay, so I don't say this to like brag about like, oh yeah, I did something nice for a homeless guy. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I give homeless people money and buy them food constantly. Don't ever post about it or anything like that. But I'll tell you guys about this because it was kind of like funny. So there was this army vet on the side of the road, and he's disabled, and he was like sweating bullets, and like I watched him take like the last little swig of his water, right? And like as I was going into Walmart to do some shopping, and I come back out, and it's like an hour later, and he's still standing out there, and it's hot. We live in Florida. He's sweating, and it's like lunchtime, and I was already planning on going to the Mexican restaurant because like I have a tradition of my birthday's Cinco de Mayo, so I have a tradition usually where I go get tacos and margaritas for my birthday, you know. But I usually get the margaritas and stuff with my friends, but all my friends were working today, so I didn't do that. But I was like, I'm still craving my tacos. So I had already made up my mind that I was going to get Mexican, and I didn't have anybody to go with me except for my daughter. So like I stopped and I'm like, hey, it's my birthday today, and I was going to go get some Mexican for lunch. Do you want to join me? And he was all like, I can't, join you, but I'm like really hungry. Would you mind like getting me something? And I was like, what do you want? And he decided he wanted like enchiladas and a sweet tea. And I was like, sure, yeah, absolutely. So I drive like over to go get the Mexican, and it's like in the same parking lot pretty much. Like you just cross over the parking lot. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get some food to go. I give them my order or whatever. They're like, yeah, totally. Just an FYI, it's gonna be a 45 to an hour long wait because it's Cinco de Mayo, so everybody want a Mexican. And I was like, so I have groceries and stuff in the back of my car because I had just went shopping at Walmart, and but I felt like morally obligated because this man's face lit up when I said that I was getting Mexican restaurant. It wasn't even like he was like, oh yeah, you can get me some food. Like the sparkle in his eyes when I said you can get anything you want from the Mexican restaurant. Like I made his day. Like he was so excited. He's like, sure, like I can just get, whatever's cheapest. And I'm like, no, get whatever you want, So I felt morally obligated. So I sat there with groceries in my car and waited for a freaking hour. And then I had to, because the time was cutting it close and I had to get the kids from school. So then I had to drive. I didn't have time to drive home to put the groceries away. So I had to go get the kids from school and then come home and put the groceries away. So I had my AC like blaring, like I was cold. Nobody was like, Mommy, it's cold in the car. I was like, I know, I'm trying to make sure the groceries don't spoil. So that's what I did on my birthday. Anyways, this video isn't about my birthday. I don't know what today's video really is going to be about. It's going to be like a shorter-ish one. This one's just kind of for funsies because I haven't uploaded in a minute, and I don't know. It's my birthday. I just felt like vibing with you guys. So what do I want to talk about? I think I'm going to kick it old school and do like more mental health stuff, because this channel, I don't know, like if you're new to this channel, then you might not realize this, but my channel actually originated with no tarot at all. It was just strictly about like mental health and like spiritual like growth and evolution. Like I didn't even like do tarot on my videos for like almost a full year. I did tarot in my private life, but like I didn't do videos on it, So I used to have Mental Health Monday, where every Monday I would talk about like a different mental health topic. And it was fun. It was just like, I would just eat snacks and just like talk about what I had learned, and like it was a vibe. So I'm thinking about doing that today, because why not, So the other night, I was reading a bedtime story to my girls. The two little ones, they like bedtime stories. So we do one or two things. We got a blue, like it's like a teal color. Teal is one of my favorite colors. There's a lot of teal like in my house and stuff, and there's like the teal bench and stuff. So there's this teal-like cabinet in my living room that's full of children's books. So we do one of two things. They either pick a children's book, just one book, because if you don't tell them just one, they'll pick like 10. They can either pick one children's book to read before bed, or I make up a story, and it's like the most absurd story you've ever heard in your life, because I'm literally making it up on the spot. And like for example, one time the story was about a mean pig monster that walked around farting all the time, and everybody in the town was like super upset because he was stinking up the town. I'm telling you, they get random. But so they can pick one or the other. Well, the other night, Gianna, which is my soon-to-be 7-year-old, she'll be 7 July 7th. So it'll be 777, which is kind of cool. But Gianna picked a book that she recently got at the book fair called The Good Egg. And I love this. And I've been wanting to do a lesson on this. So I'm just going to do it today, because why not? So The Good Egg is a children's story that's about this egg who is stressing out because all of the other fruits and vegetables have a talent for the talent show coming up. And he doesn't know what his talent is. He's like, I don't have a talent. I don't sing. I don't dance. I don't do this. I don't do that. I'm just a good egg. And then the story progresses where the fruits and the vegetables, they're doing magic tricks, and they're doing dancing, and they're doing acrobatics, and they're doing all these things. And he's trying to find his talent, and he can't figure it out because he's just a good egg. So the day of the talent show comes along, and he decides, well, I don't have a talent, so I'm going to sit in the audience and I'm going to cheer my friends on, because he still had this like lovely attitude. He's like, I'm going to sit in the audience and I'm going to cheer my friends on because I'm just a good egg. Okay. So as the show progresses, he starts noticing like these little things, like the lighting's off. So he'd get up and he'd go fix the lighting, or like his acrobatic friends were doing this crazy stunt and he's like, that looks dangerous. I need to spot them. So he'd get up and he'd go spot them. And then they needed a volunteer for the magic portion of the talent show. So he volunteered, and so on and so forth. And then the end of the talent show happens, and he goes to leave. And they call him up on stage, and they had to thank the very good egg because they couldn't have done the show without him. The moral of the story is that your value doesn't come from these big grand things, and that your purpose in life doesn't have to be like super chauvinistic to be valid. Sometimes it's the little guy, it's the guy behind the scene, little puppet masters that do some of the most important work. Take, for example, a YouTube channel. Now, I'm not a big YouTube channel. I don't have editors and all that. I just spilt that soda everywhere. Whoops! It is what it is. Oopsie daisy. Okay, anyways, that threw me off. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I don't have editors and stuff like that. I will in the future. I'm manifesting it. I'm bringing it in fruition. But right now, I don't have any of that. But think of like a big like YouTube channel. Like somebody that like their content is quality. Like it's hilarious, and it like draws you in, and this, that, and the other, okay? So you have people like the main YouTubers. Take, for example, like the Try Guys, okay? And they did a video the other day that had me like dying laughing, where it was drunk versus high charades. And they had half the guys were high, the other half were drunk, and they were playing charades, and it was just who was better, drunk versus high. And like the concept itself was hilarious. The guys themselves are hilarious, right? So they could have just, propped a phone up and pressed record and had a conversation, and yeah, it would have been good, and it might have been entertaining or whatever. Maybe you would have learned something or something like that, But what makes their content so good is their editors. Like, the end of this video, there was a part where they went into like overtime, and they had like a tiebreaker round, and they had to have Ned guess Ed Sheeran, okay? And they're like, how the fuck do you like do charades and get them to guess Ed Sheeran? Like, how do I mime Ed Sheeran, you know? So they were like pretending to be a pop singer, and they're like two, you know, words and then sounds like, and they're trying everything they can to get Ned to guess Ed Sheeran, right? Well, his wife only wanted to listen to Ed Sheeran when she was in labor with their son. So they're like, aha, we'll use that. So Keith is like trying to like mime out labor and this, that, and the other, and like making it hyper specific to Ned, where Ned should have got it instantly, right? And everybody else, even though they didn't know that he was miming out Ed Sheeran, everybody else got it instantly because it was so obvious. Like, Keith was doing such a good job. But I guess because Ned was drunk, he just wasn't getting it. And that alone was hilarious. Like, it was situationally funny. But the editing on this was brilliant. The way they were zooming in on their facial expressions, the little captions and stuff that they were putting on there, the little, like, they were editing on like Ed Sheeran's hair and Ed Sheeran's face. Like, the way this was edited was just comedy gold, okay? However, when you watch their videos, most people who watch their videos has no idea who their editor is. Like, their editors don't necessarily get the credit for their work. Everybody just is like, the Try Guys, yeah, I love them. And they think of those four main guys, but they have an entire team. That's the point of the good egg. And that's something that has been on my mind for months now. Well, shit, longer than that, probably a year, maybe even two. Is like, I grew up somebody who's a little bit of like an idealist and a little bit of a perfectionist. And I always had these like grand ideals about what I would be when I grew up. I never really had like career goals and stuff like that. Like, my stuff was never like money oriented. That just was never my focus. But I always wanted to like go down in history as like somebody who truly made an impact on the world. Like, somebody who did something like great, like a best-selling author, or, you know, like, I always, like, it would switch up constantly, but it would be like something big, you know? And then as I've gotten older, it was easy for me to be hard on myself for not reaching those like grand extreme goals, especially being a stay-at-home mom. It was really, really difficult for me when Gianna was born. She's about to be 7, so this is way back. I went through severe postpartum depression because I felt like I wasn't doing anything important. I felt like it was like leeching off of Gianna's father. I felt like if I was gonna be a stay-at-home mom, I had to be like one of those perfectly curated like Pinterest moms, and that if I wasn't one of those, if I was just like the hot mess mom and like barely making it, my kid was like alive and doing well, that I wasn't doing enough. Like, I felt like my value had to come from what I could offer, right? And a lot of people get stuck in that mindset, okay? But your purpose doesn't have to be like this big grand thing. You don't have to be like this perfect. Sometimes the most important work you can do is the work of like the supporting actor, is the work of the editor, the lighting person. Think of like some of the best movies of all time. those scenes that like just move you to tears. Like it's the perfectly curated music that comes in just right, and the lighting that just, this, and the coloring and all of that. That's what makes it so great. The raw footage is just like, oh, okay, yeah. But when they edit it just so, it's like, wow. But then you finish the movie and you're like, such and such, they did such a good job. And it's like, you just give the main actor like the credit. But some of the best lines in the movies are like the supporting actors, In life, it's the exact same way. The father of my children, when we first met, and this is not a brag on myself, this is just an illustration, okay? When we first met, he was working for somebody else, being paid way less than he deserved. He was fresh out of prison. He was living at home with his mom. Like, he was not in the place that he is now, like, at all, okay? I met him, and I was working 2 jobs and was a full-time college student, and, had my own apartment, this, that, and the other. And, like, I motivated him to either ask for a raise or quit. So he asked for a raise, the guy wouldn't give him the raise, so he quit and started his own business. I helped him start his own business. I helped him design his, Facebook page. I helped him, with business cards. Like, we just sat down and we just did it, and I motivated him to do that. And he was a single dad. When I met him, Cody and Vanessa, they're now, teenagers, but Vanessa was just turned 5 years old, and Cody was 3 when I met him. And their mom wasn't in their life at all. She's addicted to drugs. So she didn't see them. So Dakota was a single dad raising kids on his own, fresh out of jail, like barely making over minimum wage, while trying to buy pull-ups and this, that, and the other. And now he's, we're not rich by any means, but now he's gotten himself to a very stable place financially. And he will tell you, and he's told many people, I couldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for Sam. And the reason that is because I was the one behind the scenes getting the kids to and from school, to their doctor's appointments. I can tell you how many first days of school and parent-teacher conferences and stuff I've gone to alone because he couldn't take off work, And for a long time, I was the one answering business calls and scheduling appointments and doing all this stuff, not getting paid for it. It's free, and then I would clean the house, and I'd make dinner, and I do all of these things that kind of keep the ball in motion. Because if I wasn't there, and we've broken up quite a few times, where he will get ungrateful for all that I do, because it's really easy to take for granted a stay-at-home mom. Because from an outside perspective, it's like you come home and the house isn't perfectly clean or whatever. It's really easy to be like, what have you done all day? I've been at work busting my ass. What have you done all day? Little do you understand, taking care of a toddler is a full fucking job on its own. Oh my God, just keeping them alive is stressful as fuck. But it's real easy to take for granted what I do every day. I am on my feet all damn day long. I barely ever get a break. 90% of the time, I do not look like this. I have my hair up in a messy bun, no makeup, t-shirt, no bra, some Sophie shorts on, running around on my 3rd cup of coffee, stressed to the max, because I am doing stuff all day, every day long. And when I'm not here, it all goes to shit. Dakota can't work his usual hours. He can't go overtime. He's got to get the kids to and from school. He's got to take off work constantly for doctor's appointments. When you got 4 kids, doctor's appointments are a constant thing. At least once a month, somebody's going to the doctor. You got dentist appointments, you got this, you got that, dance recitals, all kinds of shit, sports events, all this, plus, making the kids breakfast and lunch and dinner and, all of that. I do all of that constantly just to keep up with the housework. I have to unload and load the dishwasher at least once, and I have to do 2 loads of laundry every single day. If I don't, it stacks up. And that's just basic maintenance. Like, then you got like grubby little baby handprints on everything. We got a dirt backyard, and white tile in the kitchen, which is just like so irritating. But the floors have to be mopped every single day because there's little white tiles in the kitchen and a dirt backyard. I don't know why. Just little things like that. And it's so easy for people to, when they see me with my hair a mess, and they'll see like my videos on YouTube or whatever where I look decent, whatever, but then they see me out in public and it's like I'm stressed out and I got the baby under one arm and she's throwing a fit and I'm looking a hot mess and I'm stressed or whatever. It's real easy for people to judge and be like, oh, she can get all fixed up and she can do this to like show off on YouTube or whatever it be, but she doesn't take care of her kids, or she doesn't do this or that. It's never enough for other people because they're not there. They don't live it. They don't know what all you do in a day. There's some days I'm moving and I'm doing and I'm cleaning and I'm taking care of kids where it'll be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I realize the only thing I've had to eat or drink all damn day is coffee. That's the normal for me. Like, but it's not just stay-at-home moms. It's in general. It's the behind the scenes guy. A lot of times they don't get the credit or the validation, but that does not mean that they're not important. Sometimes the most important and impactful work that you can do is that of this little guy. Like, truthfully, it's that of the little guy. Your purpose isn't about the credit or the validation. It's about the service that you give onto others. You could be like your literal purpose in life. Like, you could have the most like important, like in God's eyes, the universe's eyes, you could be like the game changer for the world, because literally you're the mother who's gonna birth like the next somebody great, like the next scientist who like cures cancer or some shit. And the whole time you're like working at a deli in a grocery store and like you feel like you didn't do anything with your life except for you loved the fuck out of your children and you raised them in a healthy manner. Therefore, they grew up in a stable environment and they got to be the person that did something great. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I'm hoping this point gets through to you today. That you are enough. You're doing enough. All the hard work in the world, it doesn't matter how many degrees you get, it doesn't matter how much money's in your bank account, none of that fucking matters. It doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter how many friends you have, it doesn't matter if you ever get credit for what you do. Like, some of the most famous painters in the world died poor, like as fuck, died of poverty. Their paintings weren't worth anything until they were dead. Like, they didn't even get to see that now their paintings go for millions. It's sad, but it's not about that, and it's never been about that. And if you get wrapped up in that mindset, you'll never truly be happy in life. When you understand that your purpose is wrapped up in how you can serve others, how you can give back to the world, I'm telling you, it's chef's kiss. Just frees you up. It frees you up, okay? Life becomes a little bit more sparkly, a little bit more beautiful when you start to notice all the little ways you impact the world. That's my lesson for you guys today. Like I said, it's going to be a shorter video because it's my birthday. I want to go eat and spend time with my family. But I hope you have a magical, wonderful beautiful day, and I hope this found you well. Bye.